very much. City Clerk, can we have a roll call?
Humby.
Here.
Gabriel.
Here.
Harrington.
Here.
O'Doherty.
Here.
Schmeckel.
Here.
Schuster.
Here.
Somerville.
Here.
Pierce.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
That's 9 present and 0 absent, Your Honor.
Thank you, City Clerk. All City Council members are present. And now we'll go to public comment on non-agenda items. I'd like to recognize Casey Quinn. You have the floor.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor Weaver, members of the council. My name is Casey Quinn, and I'm a representative for Blue Peak in Laramie and Wyoming. Blue Peak is a new fiber optic company entering Laramie for residential and business services. Back when we did our franchise agreement with the city in August of last year, we were Vast Broadband. We've committed a major investment to Laramie and are doing a complete infrastructure overlay of most of the city. My team is currently working with the city engineering team to ensure that we're all on the same page and this is as smooth a process as possible. And we're hoping to break ground sometime in the summer. I'm here to introduce myself and to let you know I am here to act as a resource for you. We'll soon be in your neighborhoods and in your constituents' easements. We will work to be the best neighbors we can be to Laramie, but with such a large construction project, there are hiccups every now and then. There are multiple ways for the community to access us, but if you as council members need anything, you are hearing from constituents or you have ideas for us to partner with the city and community, I'll be emailing you guys my contact info. Please call or email me and I will handle any issues personally and efficiently. Other than that, we're just super excited to be bringing affordable fiber optic to Laramie. I'll take any questions, but please feel free to reach out to me for coffee or lunch and we can go over a high-level review of what we'll be doing in your city and your wards. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Quinn. Appreciate that very much. Other public comments on non-agenda items. Seeing none, close the public comment period. That'll take us to item number 5. I'd like to recognize the Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Weaver. I move that the following changes to the agenda be approved. We have one change this evening. It's from item number 18 on the regular agenda. We are removing confidential information, Wyoming Statute 16-4-405, lowercase a, Roman numeral 9. And we are adding land negotiations, Wyoming Statute 16-4-405, lowercase a, Roman numeral 7.
Second.
And a motion and a second. All those in favor, second from Councilmember Schuster. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
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 Vice Mayor Pierce. That motion carries.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Pierce.
Thank you, Mayor Weaver. I move that the agenda be set as changed.
Second.
Motion and a second from Councilmember Schuster. All those in favor, same sign.
Aye.
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 That motion carries. Thank you very much, Vice Mayor Pierce. Takes us to item number 6 on our agenda, and that'll take us to item number 6B, numerat 1, public hearing. City Clerk, can we have a announcement for public hearing?
Notice is hereby given that a public hearing of the Laramie City Council will be held Tuesday, February 1st, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. via Zoom meeting for the following purpose. Original ordinance number 2040, amending section 2.20 of Laramie Municipal Code related to the Board of Health. All information relative to this matter is available for review at the City of Laramie City Clerk's office at 406 Ivinson Avenue, Laramie, Wyoming. Anyone wishing to be heard should be present or may be represented by his or her agent at the meeting.
Thank you very much, City Clerk. We'll now open the public hearing for comments from members of the public. Public hearing is open. Council members, seeing no one seeking recognition, I'm going to close the public hearing. Bring us to item number 6C, announcements.
Thank you, Mayor. There are no announcements this evening.
Thank you, City Manager. Good evening to you. Nice to see you. That'll take us to item number 7, disclosures by City Council members. So are there any City Council members that wish to make a disclosure on any of the items coming before us on the agenda this evening?
Mr. Mayor, I'll be recused from 9H.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Harrington. 9H on the consent agenda. All right. That'll take us now to item number 8, Vice Mayor Pierce.
Thank you, Mayor Weaver. I move that the consent agenda be approved and that each specific action on the consent agenda be approved as indicated.
Second.
Second from Councilmember Cumby. I was thinking it was going to be third time's a charm from Councilmember Schuster, but second from Councilmember Cumby. City Clerk, can we have a roll call on the consent agenda?
Cumby,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes, with an abstention on 9H.
O'Doherty,
Yes.
Schmeckel,
Yes.
Schuster,
Yes.
Somerville,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos with the extension from 9H from Councilor Harrington, Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed, City Clerk. That motion carries. The consent agenda has been approved. That takes us now into the main agenda, the regular agenda, item number 10, and then directly to item number 11. I'd like to recognize Councilmember Schuster.
Thank you. The title is Award of a Bid for Public Works Department, Solid Waste Division, Dual Arm Automated Refuse Truck with Trade-In. I move to award the bid for unit number 678, Automated Refuge Truck with Trade-In to CMI Tico in Casper, Wyoming, in the total amount of $382,366. Amend the budget as appropriated and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign.
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second from Councilmember Harrington. I see that we've got Mr. Webb from Public Works Department here. Good evening. Thanks for being here, sir. Over to you.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council. Unit 678, excuse me, Unit 678 is replacement. So the current Unit 678 is 8 years old, 11,000 hours on that unit. Delivery on the new unit is 16 months out, so we're gonna keep her running until then. CMI Tico was our only bidder on the truck. We've done a lot of business with CMI Tico in the past. They're the Mack dealer out of Casper, Wyoming. And after reviewing the bid, we're recommending award for Unit 678.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for Mr. Webb on the equipment purchase? Or bid. Mr. Webb, how many of those machines do we have running from that Tico dealer right now? All of them or just most of them?
No, not all of them, Mayor, City Council. The last few bid awards actually went to Peterbilt. Peterbilt did not bid during this bid process. So we've kind of got a mix right now of Max and Peterbilts.
Thank you. Just curious. And is there any chance that that machine will come in earlier than the 16 months?
Fingers crossed.
Sure. All righty. Councilmember O'Doherty.
I just have a comment. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I wanted to thank the Solid Waste Division for their work with picking up recycling and picking up trash. And I've seen the drivers do amazing things to pick up trash cans that have fallen on their side and flip it back up to upright to dump it. And just want to thank you for that and ask our citizens to leave 3 feet on either side of your can so they don't have to be quite the magicians with those robotic arms. Thank you.
Friendly request from Councilmember O'Doherty about your trash and recycling receptacles. Yeah. All right. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Seeing none, we'll close the public comment on this item. And I'd ask the city clerk to please provide us with the roll call vote.
Harrington,
Yes.
Schuster,
Yes.
Schmeckel,
Yes.
Somerville,
Yes.
Cumby,
Yes.
O'Doherty,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes?
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
Thank you. That motion carries. Next item on the agenda is item number 12, award of contract. And we'd like to recognize Councilmember Harrington.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to award the contract for the Municipal Operations Center's furniture to Source Office and Technology in the amount of $241,712.49, plus a contingency of $24,170 for a total amount not to exceed $265,882.49, and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign.
Second.
Second from Vice Mayor Pierce. Mr. Webb?
Honorable Mayor, City Council, I am happy to say that we are about 10 weeks away from substantial completion on the project out at the North Campus. And as part of the project plans and budget, we had owner-supplied furniture, which includes desks, chairs, and cabinets. The majority of the furniture that was bid out is for the new conference room areas, new training areas, break room areas. Those alone equal about 30,000 square feet of area for us to furnish. Public Works will be utilizing a lot of our existing office furniture, but we looked at everybody's furniture, what they had. There is some office furniture that's in poor condition and is replacing with this project also. We went out to bid on the project. Source Office and Technology was our only bidder, and again, we've done a lot of work with them in the past. The city as a whole has. We reviewed the bids and recommend bid award to Source Office Technologies.
Council members, do we have any questions or comments about the furniture bid? See if there's any public comment on the item. Public comment on the award of contract for furniture. Seeing none, we'll close the public comment. Council, one more chance for questions or comments about the item. We're looking forward to you folks having an up-to-date facility, and glad to see the progress, and I'm sure we're not looking forward to it as much as you all there in the Public Works Department. City Clerk, can we please have a roll call vote?
O'Doherty,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Cumby,
Yes.
Schmeckel,
Yes.
Schuster,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Somerville,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
Thank you, City Clerk. That motion carries. Thank you, council members. That takes us now to item number 13 on the agenda, and I'd like to turn it over to Councilmember Gabriel.
Thanks, Mayor. I would move that the Laramie City Council approve Resolution 2022-13, designating recreation project request priorities to the Albany County Recreation Board for funding consideration in fiscal year 2022, and authorize the mayor and clerk to sign.
Second.
Second from the Vice Mayor. Motion and a second from the Vice Mayor. We've got Assistant City Manager Feaser. Welcome.
Thanks, Honorable Mayor, City Council. Pleasure to be here with you tonight. The resolution that you're considering tonight is the designation of the city's requested portion of the Albany County Rec Mill. The Albany County Rec Mill is implemented by the Albany County School Board and is a one mill that can be applied to property taxes for recreational projects. The projects are broke down between the city of Laramie, Albany County, the town of Rock River, and Albany County School District are all able to submit for projects. The city's process actually begins all the way back to the beginning of November when we put out a request for proposals. We advertise. I also email everybody that's ever submitted an application over the 6 years I've been here and let them know that the process has begun again. We accept those applications through December 17th, I believe, and then the work begins. It first makes a stop at the Parks, Tree, and Rec Advisory Board for presentations, which were held on January 12th. And then the Parks, Tree, and Rec Advisory Board meets again on January 13th to create a priority list, which develops this resolution and make any amendments to the projects that they feel that are warranted before moving the project forward to City Council for consideration. In the event that it is approved tonight, the resolution and supporting documents will be forwarded to the Albany County School District by March 1st so that they can be heard by the Albany County Rec Board and then hopefully approved by the Albany County School District for mill levy collection in the June meetings. So we had a total of 15 applications this year, which is quite a bit down from previous years. I wish I had an idea why. I think most people are still in survival mode, and it may have slipped through some of the pandemic stuff with the ability to submit an application. We did have a total larger than the $387,000. Oops, I'm sorry, I gotta get to the number. 383,003. The board actually made adjustments to three of the projects to bring the funding down to get it within what we're average awarded of 387 on an annual basis. With that being said, I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Assistant City Manager. Do we have any questions about the projects or the process? Why don't we check and see if we have public comment about either the projects or the process? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment. Council, closing thoughts on this item? In years past, it has garnered considerable discussion, but not always. Assistant City Manager, I see a lot of long-term partners that have cooperated with the city on these grants and rec mill projects for many years, and it's good to see so many of the familiar names and a couple of new ones. I share your thoughts about the number of projects, and I think your assessment is probably correct. I do want to recognize, if I can, Council, just quickly, one of the newer groups down there that I think has launched somewhat recently and been successful and been scrappy and resourceful, and that would be the Laramie Girls Softball Association. It's good to see that project on there. I know that they've been making some big strides towards getting that entire community undertaking across Wyoming up and off the ground. So that's great to see. Councilmember Gabriel, I saw a hand from you.
Thanks, Mayor. I was just curious, Todd, maybe I can remember in past years, maybe in the 20s, even lower 30s, some of the requests. Do you think maybe we're catching up on some of these projects and maybe that's why the number is down this year?
Honorable Mayor, through you to Councilor Gabriel, that I hesitate to suggest. I think the highest that I've actually seen the request is 22 since I've been here. So we're really only down 7. To give you an idea, the Laramie Soccer Club might be full of projects right now, and they're working on a well project out at their property. So they might have just had their hands full is one reason I could assume we maybe didn't see anything there. A few of the other programs I think had lost favor over the years with both our board and the Albany County School District and the ACRB in some of their needs. So I think they just kind of realized as they got cut back, it may not have been worth it. Our newest addition, which was a surprising one that I didn't even know was happening, is the Laramie Floorball Club. Item number 11, gym rental and equipment to support the program needs. We've actually had a few girls compete at national floorball from Laramie. So it's a sport that's being scrappy and working where they can get their places and having some good success. So, I really would like to mostly pin it on, again, that survival mode that I think we all feel. I'm sure you folks all feel it in your normal jobs day to day, that, sometimes something additional is there's not enough bandwidth to handle it at this point, and hopefully we see it all come back in the future.
Great, thank you.
I'd like to note we've even had some international competitors for floorball from Laramie. Any other questions on these projects? All right, well, I do appreciate the other questions and the discussion, and we're glad to see these rec groups come forward with good projects and requests, and we wish them the best with the rest of the process. City Clerk, can we have a roll call vote?
B.
Yes.
Gabriel.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
O'Doherty.
Yes.
Schmeckel.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
Somerville.
Yes.
Pierce.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, City Clerk. That motion carries. Thank you, Council. That takes us now to item number 14, which I'd like to turn over to Councilmember Cumby.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to approve original ordinance number 2040 on second reading, amending section 2.20 of Laramie Municipal Code related to Board of Health.
Second.
Second from Councilmember O'Doherty. Thank you. I'd like to go ahead and turn that over to, it looks like Assistant City Manager Feeser for background on that, but I'm not sure that he's ready.
Mayor, I'll go ahead and take this one, if that's okay.
Absolutely. City Clerk.
So this item is just to finish up the bylaw changes that you approved in January. And that this is just clearing up the language that's currently in municipal code, removing the city health officer, as that has not been a position that's been utilized at the city level for many, many years, 20 plus years in our estimation. So it's just cleaning up code associated with that.
Thank you very much, City Clerk, for the background on that. This is the second reading of the item. We've had the public hearing earlier tonight as well. Council members, do we have any questions or comments? Councilmember Cumby, do you have anything you'd like to add from the Public Health Board's process?
No, Mr. Mayor. I don't have anything else to add.
Thank you. I just thought I'd give you an opportunity. Why don't we see if there's any public comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment period on the item. Go back to council for last opportunity. Thank you, council. City Clerk, can we have a roll call vote on the item?
Somerville.
Yes.
Cumby,
Yes.
Schuster,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Schmeckel,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
O'Doherty,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
Very much, City Clerk. That motion carries. Thank you, City Council. It takes us to item number 15, which would be Councilmember O'Doherty.
I move to approve the first reading and introduction of original ordinance 2041, amending Laramie Municipal Code Chapter 10.32, bicycles to update language to reflect current device uses.
Looking for a second.
Second.
Second from the Vice Mayor. Motion and a second from the Vice Mayor. Thank you very much. Assistant City Manager Feaser, welcome back.
Honorable Mayor, it's good to be here, and we've got a nice council meeting flow going. It's pretty awesome. As you remember, when we decided to allow the Bird to bring in their scooter program, their stand-up electric share scooter program, we had indicated to council that we would be bringing back ordinance changes that kind of addressed not only electric scooters, but addressed some of the other impacts that we're seeing, not so much related to bicycles. In working with Chief Stalder and Holly Austin-Belaski on the ordinance, we looked at the bicycle ordinance and kind of decided that right now, making changes to the title and then changing some of the definitions by adding electric assisted bicycles in multiple classes, and then motor assisted bicycles, electric personal assistive mobility devices, which would be like the Segways is what I'd call them, and electric scooters, and considering those all devices, and then making changes to the language as we move down through the regulations would be our best first step towards really changing to where enforcement of these items isn't based on state statute, but based on city ordinance that meets the intent of what we want to do. With that being said, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Certainly. Councilmember O'Doherty, I noticed that you had a hand up, but I think I saw Councilmember Schmeckel. Were you seeking okay, I apologize. Councilmember O'Doherty.
I think this looks like good changes. I just want to pass it on for review by the Traffic Safety Commission. We have fine people on that commission, and I would like to get feedback knowing that several of them are hardcore bicyclists and bike commuters. So I'm going to vote for this, but since the Traffic Commission meets next week, I would love for them to look at it and give us some feedback in case they think we should tweak some things. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember O'Doherty. Assistant City Manager Feaser.
Honorable Mayor, I checked on the schedule for the Traffic Commission, and next week's meeting is actually canceled due to a lack of items. So the soonest we'd be able to make it to Traffic Commission, which would be March 10th. I certainly don't have any issue with this. I don't believe this is a time crunch or something we need to hurry to do. I guess I would suggest maybe that I would lean on the city clerk to maybe help guide us to, if we postpone second reading, to follow the Traffic Commission in March. I think we'd probably need to change the motion just so that we get postponed, or maybe I just wait and bring it back. I'm not sure how that works.
Assistant City Manager, City Clerk, if I could, before you start, I think it's also reasonable to consider a postponement of third reading and see if we can allow the Traffic Commission time. City Clerk, over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. I think it's at the pleasure of the council what you'd like to do. If you pass it on first reading, then you could certainly postpone on second or third reading to allow the Traffic Commission an opportunity to look at it. So whatever the council would like to do, I think is totally fine.
Thank you, City Clerk. Councilmember O'Doherty, further thoughts on this in terms of how we might approach that for second or third reading?
We have a catch-22 here with the Traffic Commission. So I really would like to lean on the Traffic Commission. So I would like to postpone the second reading, but I think that we could, consider this tonight and postpone the second reading.
Further discussion?
You know, we could ask individuals of the Traffic Commission to weigh in too.
Yeah, and I think we have some here for the public comment period, which we will recognize. Further discussion? I appreciate the city manager's background for us that he doesn't see that as an issue timing-wise. We're talking about a matter of a few more weeks for additional consideration and probably public comments. That seems reasonable. Why don't we go to public comment on this item right now, and then we'll come back. And let's recognize Nancy Sindler first. Ms. Sindler, welcome. You've got the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I have a whole list. I've been studying this thing when I saw it first came out on the agenda, which I will gladly bring up at Traffic Commission instead of here. Councilor O'Doherty, you read my mind. One thing that I really am worried about is the personal mobility assisted devices. I'm thinking those are for people that can't turn off that need when they get to a sidewalk. These are people that have those because they're no longer able to walk, and I think they should be pedestrian vehicles as are wheelchairs and walkers. And that might be, we have a disability commission, and they might need to work on that too. Other than that, I am willing to work just at Traffic Commission with all my suggestions. And some of them are just little technical things, if you would like me to, or I can bring them up here. That's up to you, Honorable Mayor.
Traffic Commissioner Sindler, I think what we'll do is have you guys work it through your process. I think that's the direction that we're going, and then we'd encourage you to come back after you're able to do that and share with the council some things when the council considers it on what it sounds like is going to be a postponed second reading.
That sounds great.
Well, thank you for taking time to be here and for your volunteer service on Traffic Commission.
You're more than welcome.
We appreciate it. We appreciate your service. Longtime member. Let's recognize Nick Visser. Let's let Mr. Visser into the meeting, and you've got the floor. Go right ahead.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Little technical difficulty there. Yeah, my name is Nick Visser, and I've been a citizen of Laramie and a bike commuter for the last 31 years. I'm also a board member of Laramie Bike Net, local nonprofit organization advocating for safe and accessible cycling in the city. And I just want to say that I support the idea of amending the ordinance, and I do have some additional concerns that I'd like to be able to raise with Mr. Fieser and I guess the city in general about the amendment. Specifically, I think there's a little room to improve, to clarify accessibility of e-bikes and so forth, their ability to use trails and pathways. And I think it's also important to consider speed limits on those trails and pathways where there is no posted speed limit. So we would, myself and Laramie Bike Net would appreciate the opportunity to engage and try to improve this proposed amendment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Visser. You will have those opportunities. Assistant City Manager, I'm thinking what we need to do is find a good way to coordinate with Laramie Bike Net, the Traffic Commission, and then we'll bring that back to the council, probably with some opportunity for comments. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Yeah, you bet, and thanks for being here and taking some time out of your evening to talk to us about that. Why don't we see if we have any other comments on this, and we do appreciate them. City Clerk, with the council's permission, I think I'll check and see if Traffic Commissioner Sindler is seeking for a second comment opportunity, as I see that the hand is still raised. Go ahead.
I apologize for my technical incompetence. I'm still used to meeting in person.
That's all right. All right. So are you okay? Looks like we're good there. I just thought I'd check. One more comment on the alternative transportation ordinance. Wasn't going to wasn't going to foul us up. Councilmember O'Doherty?
I'm the liaison for Traffic Commission, and I don't have it marked as canceled next week. So I hope we can put it on the agenda for next week.
I see City Engineer has raised his hand. Go ahead, Mr. Jeff.
Sorry, getting all my things going here. So we actually, the official notice hasn't been sent out yet, but our deadline was earlier this week, I think today, to get all the stuff items sent out. So I don't think we can get it on the agenda in time for the February meeting, since to get the notice out to the public and everything else. Our items are usually due a few weeks ahead of that, and we're working on those items. So I just think, unfortunately, just because of the timing of trying to get it on the February, we can't meet those deadlines to get it on that agenda. And I think Cindy just hasn't sent out the cancellation on that yet.
Thank you, City Engineer. Councilmember O'Doherty, any follow-up?
So I just don't see why we can't have it be something on the agenda. But
I think the issue is the public notice requirement, maybe. But Councilmember O'Doherty, I think we can resolve the issue just by following through with your original intention at second reading. Councilmember Schuster?
Thank you very much. I'm really curious to look at what BikeNet was talking about. We have some electric pedal assisted bikes now, because just out of curiosity, I went out, since I know some salespeople at the motorcycle shop, since I'm an avid rider, and I tried out one of their nicer bikes, and they can break the speed limit quite easily in this town. And so I just think we need to watch this very closely, because I know that they have some concerns on what people are doing on trails with them right now. They even make electric dirt bikes. So, and it would be all electric, and I'm wondering, because we have some really iffy rules on Pole Mountain about electric assisted bikes. And I think if somebody puts pedals on an electric dirt bike, I think it would meet their guidelines, but yet would still do 60 miles an hour if a person wanted to push it. So we have to watch these rules very, very closely. These electric assisted anything, scooters, bikes, anything, are getting faster and faster every single year. So we really do need to watch this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Schuster. And the chair would note the council member's concern about these e-bikes being able to outpace his antique motorcycle, which is no doubt his primary concern. I think we've heard that we're going to have some opportunity to dig in a little deeper here and a little more time. And the city manager, assistant city manager, of course, recognizing that there'll be an opportunity to do that and fine tune this a little bit. That's why we go through this process. I think we'll be good there. Any other comments on this? Do we have an understanding from the council that tonight what we're going to go ahead and do is pass this first reading item, and then we may take a different action to postpone on the second reading when it comes up, so that it can be reviewed by the Traffic Commission in their March meeting. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Thank you for the discussion on that item. City Clerk, can we have a roll call vote?
Quimby,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
O'Doherty,
yes.
Schmeckel,
Yes.
Schuster,
Yes.
Somerville,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
That motion carries. Thank you, City Clerk. Thank you, council members. That takes us now to item number 16, public comments on non-agenda items. We'll check and see if we have public comments on non-agenda items. No doubt some of our regular observers are pleased with the pace of tonight's meeting. Looking at you, ASUW and League of Laramie Women Voters. All right, let's close the public comment period, and I'd like to go to Councilmember Cumby, who's seeking recognition.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a comment on a non-agenda item.
Okay.
And I would just like to commend the staff from the Public Works Department. We had a water main break just south of Park and 15th, and they handled it so beautifully. They came this morning, they contacted everyone that would be affected personally so that they could draw water. They updated us on anticipated completion time. My 10-month-old Great Pyrenees kept an eye on them all day, and they gave her lots of hugs and pats. And I was just so impressed with the efficiency and the courtesy and the consideration that they showed for the neighborhood. So I just wanted to comment on that. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments. You know, along those lines too, I wanted to say, I know the council really appreciated the detailed breakdown of the snow removal process for the last big storm that we had, and we had hoped to get an opportunity to let Public Works give us a little bit of a rundown of their approach when we have a big weather event like that. Maybe we'll have another event like that that'll provide an opportunity, but also wanted to give them a quick kudos for that on the last big weather event. I know we've got some more snow coming, but I don't think it's going to be like the last storm. So yes, we're very proud of the Public Works Department. Okay, why don't we see if there are any considerations for future council work session topics right now, council members. Item number 17, Councilmember Cumby.
Yes, I thought that during our retreat, our discussion related to housing, related to middle income housing development, that Councilor Schmeckel brought up and Vice Mayor Pierce brought up, I thought it was very interesting, and it's had me thinking ever since. And I would like to add a work session where we continue that discussion and get more specific about what we mean when we say affordable housing and how we put that into operation.
Second.
Thank you. So there's council support for this. City Manager, as I look at our work session schedule, you know, I try to keep an eye when we bring these up to see if there's an already requested work session where an additional topic might make sense. And as I look at this, I'm not certain that I see one that's outstanding to me, but I'd welcome any thoughts that you might have about that. I know we have talked a lot about housing, but it is very much an issue at the moment and probably for the foreseeable future. So I don't know if we want to schedule that as an entirely separate topic for an updated work session on housing, or if we might want to try to join it with another topic.
Mayor, to your question, as I look at your future work session topics, you do have some planning issues that are specific to sort of subsets, I guess I would say, of housing. But from what I hear from Councilor Cumby, maybe what would be most appropriate is a work session to revisit our housing study and the definitions therein that we have been using to define workforce or missing middle housing. So I guess what I would say, Mayor, and I see Councilor Cumby nodding, I hope I captured accurately what you were saying, then I think that would probably be a separate work session, separate from these more detailed planning conversations.
I appreciate that. I just wanted to see if maybe there was an opportunity for joining up some topics, but I see council support for this as a standalone, and we'll see if we can get that scheduled. Other suggestions for future work sessions or questions about upcoming meetings? City Clerk?
Mayor, since we're talking about work sessions, I just wanted to remind the council that we are getting closer to needing a work session topic regarding the ward boundaries. The redistricting is making some progress, and so as we get updated on that, I'll inform you and try to get a date set that with the city manager and council that will work for us to meet again on that.
Thank you very much, City Clerk. Very much for that note. I think you're absolutely right, and that will be upcoming. Finance Committee members, we talked in Finance Committee this evening at 5 for the regular meeting about the possibility of where we might add a work session about the city's audit process. And I know that Director Wade had some thoughts about that, but I probably would be accurate in reminding the council we probably need to request that and add it, but maybe we should wait till we see more of what we're going to do with the upcoming budget and work with the city manager and other members of staff about where we might fit that in, the beginning or end. But city manager, city clerk, that was a discussion tonight about trying to see if when we covered the audit, which sometimes we've done as a work session and sometimes we haven't, to see if there might be a natural place for that towards the beginning or the end of the city's budget process as perhaps a capper, because they do kind of fit together a little bit. So just an FYI, but maybe we'll set a specific request in the future. Okay. Do we have any other items? The work session calendar is pretty full, but I don't think it's yet unmanageable. Vice Mayor Pierce.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. And just as a segue to your comment, you know, we do a budget this year, so that takes up a fair, just to remind new council members and those of us that have been around for a while, that takes up a fair amount of time in, March, April, right? So I can't remember exactly, but maybe our city manager or city clerk can help us out. But it does take up some time. So based on what I'm looking at in terms of future city council work sessions, we've got a pretty busy schedule, I think, once we add in the budget, a little bit more on housing. Yeah, anyway, that's just my comment.
Yeah, I don't disagree, Vice Mayor, which is why I'd be looking for opportunities to maybe have 2 topics in one work session as much as possible. Where we can. Sometimes the issues are a little bit too separate. And I know the staff always keeps an eye out for that anyway. We do want to try to keep that work session list manageable. City Manager?
Mayor, to your point, I wanted to mention that I do typically each year, as Vice Mayor Pierce said, you have a very full spring with budget meetings and also the meeting where you hear from your community partner funding applicants. And so I will typically go through requested work sessions and see if there's an opportunity to sort of kill 2 birds with 1 stone and address a requested work session within the context of the budget meetings. So know that I have and will continue to do that. I will tell you, though, as I look at the list right now, I don't see a lot of those opportunities at this time. But yes, you're correct. Very busy, and we'll try to get as much accomplished at each meeting as we possibly can.
Thank you, City Manager. And Council, I would say this, our council travel budget continues to be largely unused. So I think that does provide us with the opportunity to have more meetings than we might otherwise. So if we have a commitment to getting through some of these issues, there is always the option of scheduling additional meetings for work sessions so that we can dig in with some of these topics. Just putting it out there, I'm not making a specific suggestion. I know there's only so many times a week you want to be committing to a city council meeting, but that is an option that's out there. A lot of important topics, and we do want to get through them. Any other information, questions, inquiries about work sessions or upcoming meetings? Seeing none, I'd like to turn it over to Council Member Schuster for item number 18.
Thank you. I move we adjourn to executive session regarding land negotiations 16-4-405, small letter A, Roman numeral 7.
Second.
The motion and a second. City Clerk.
Point.
Mr. Mayor, if we could also have litigation in that motion, land negotiation and litigation.
Okay. During the pre-meeting, the one was removed supposedly, but I'll put it on also. Wyoming State Statute 16-4-405, small letter A, Roman numeral 9.
City Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. We had removed confidential information, but left litigation, so this is perfect now. Thank you, Councilor Schuster and Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Schuster. No harm, no foul. We did have some changes to kind of a technical portion there. All right. Was there a second? I don't remember who it was.
Yes, Brian Harrison.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, that was me, and I concur.
Thank you very much. All right. The motion second from Councilmember Harrington. All those in favor of adjournment to executive session, or do we need a roll call vote on this, City Clerk?
No roll call, just majority.
Okay. Please raise your hand or say aye or vote.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. We'll see you there in just a few minutes. It's 7:22.